Hey, what's going on, everybody? On today's video, we're going to be talking about a topic that I thought was really impactful when I heard this information. And I learned this from an Olympic athlete, Alexei Pappas. And I'm excited about this because from a mindset standpoint for high ticket sales people or people that are in sales for general, this is super, super important to make sure that you're moving forward with your day. You're having success on a week by week. You're having success on a month by month basis. And I'm going to share with you what her coach shared with her that I thought was super impactful, and it definitely relates to sales. Let's jump into it. All right, you guys, so let me give you a little bit of background. So Alexei Pappas, I've done a little bit of research on her. I thought pretty impressed with her mindset and her mentality. Alexei Pappas was an individual who is an Olympic athlete who had been training very, very hard to go to the Olympics. And she talks quite a bit about like mental illness and struggling with depression and failure and things like that. Really, really inspiring from a mindset standpoint. She's a distance runner. As somebody that stinks at running distance, I was pretty blown away at her work ethic and what she's been able to achieve. She shared something the other day that I wanted to share with you guys that really, I think, relates to sales in general. And this was a message essentially from her coach. So she had just gotten done with a particularly difficult training and she was frustrated. She was a little bit depressed about the way that her training session essentially went. And her coach just said something that really dawned on her. And he just says, well, don't forget the rule of thirds, just one of those days. And Alexei was a little bit confused by that because of the fact that, she was really narrowing in on that training session from a failure standpoint. And she was really shocked because her Olympic coach was this high performing gold medalist from what I understand. So the coach's reaction was a little bit shocking to her. She thought that the coach was going to be upset with her about the fact that the training didn't go that way. And she didn't really know what the rule of thirds actually was. So she was like, well, what do you mean? I'm sitting here, I'm frustrated, I'm depressed about this training session. And you're just nonchalantly, hey, just don't remember the rule of thirds. So the coach essentially then went on to explain to Alexei what the rule of thirds was. And basically she broke it down and said, hey, listen, anytime that you're in the pursuit of something difficult or hard, or you're trying to better yourself, or you're trying to achieve something, which is definitely all of us in the sales game. We're constantly looking at KPIs. We're constantly looking at improvement. We're constantly looking at making better commissions. We live and breathe based off of the numbers and the results because that's what pays essentially our commissions. So the coach said, hey, don't forget the rule of thirds. Once again, this was designed for people that are trying to do something obviously hard. And she basically went on and explained to Alexei from a coaching standpoint, hey, listen, when you're trying to do something difficult, a third of the time it is going to absolutely stink. You're going to fail and you're not going to do great and you're going to be frustrated about your overall performance. The other third of the time is it's going to be average. It's going to just be okay. And you're going to get basically by and you're going to have a pretty decent essentially day. The other third is when you're going to be actually excelling. You're motivated, you're driven. You just had an awesome work day or session or performance, and it's just going to be absolutely exciting. One of the things over the course of the last 18 years that I have seen working and training with sales reps is that they allow those first two essentially sections, whether they have a bad day or they have an average day, to frustrate them or to put them in a mental rut that paralyzes them from having those great days. Remember, anytime that you're doing something that's difficult, you're going to have those rule of thirds. So putting that in perspective, as a sales rep or a high ticket sales rep, as you're going throughout your process and you miss a deal or you don't close somebody and you're frustrated about, the only way that you can look at this is, one, how do I improve? How do I get better? And just completely compartmentalize that, hey, this is the rule of thirds. My day wasn't as good as I was actually hoping it to be. What do I got to do to be able to improve? And know that there's other days that are going to be coming that are going to be average and then sometimes amazing. And I think that when you come into anything that's difficult from that perspective, when you do have those hard days, just know that the other better days are obviously on the horizon. That's been my experience as I've stayed committed and tried and kept working hard towards something. That will absolutely happen to you. I wanted to share that with you. I'm not sure why that was so impactful for me because I remember having these frustrating days. We tell everybody in the high ticket sales space, hey, listen, if you're going to quit, and you're going to quit on yourself, do it after an actual sell. When you're at your high or you're motivated, you're committed, you've had one of those great weeks where you've absolutely just crushed it. Don't quit on one of those days where you've been frustrated. And once again, the rule of thirds where it was just a hard day and it didn't actually work out for you. So wanted to share that with you guys. Like as always, comment below, like us, follow us here, and looking forward to seeing you on other trainings. Thanks guys. Bye.